Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm Tony Bruschi. Here's another Week in Review segment, some of our best segments of this last week. Want to weigh in on the topic at hand? You can call 24/7, 888-5KILLER, 888-554-5537. Let's go to this segment.
This is continuing coverage in the trial of Alex Murdaugh from True Crime Today.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage. In a shocking admission during a court hearing, Alex Murdaugh's attorney, Jim Griffin, asked him if he stole money from clients and diverted the funds from the law firm to himself. Without hesitation, the disgraced lawyer confirmed the financial thefts, explaining that he spent the money on his addiction to opioids. The admission confirms the charges brought against Murdaugh for embezzling law firm fees and depriving victims of settlement money. Take a listen.
Personally, have never, despite trying repeatedly, have never been able to get a judge to order the kind of information that Mark Tinsley was saying he was seeking.
Were you working on a document for that upcoming hearing?
Yes.
And what was that?
A financial statement. A financial statement lists your assets and your liabilities.
And had you reached out to Jeannie Seconder later the day on the 7th to get your current balance of your retirement account?
You know, I don't remember doing that, but that'd certainly be something that I did, and because I know I'd have to have that for that financial statement. And the document that I prepared was what Mark Ball talked about that he found later in my office. And it was it was handwritten, ready to be typed up by, because of the charges against Paul, I kept everything very close in the civil case. It was Danny in his office. It was doing it. And I had that document prepared, handwritten in the neatest handwriting that I could make, because a secretary other than mine, or paralegal other than mine, was going to be the person who was going to put that financial information into the final document. And that's the document that Mark Ball talked about that he found on my desk whenever it was that he found it. Okay. So that was what was going to be, if necessary, what was going to be used Thursday.
Alex, jury's heard about testimony of you stealing client funds. Did you do that?
I did.
Did you steal or divert that Ferris fee away from the law firm?
I did.
How did you get in such a financial predicament that led you to steal money that wasn't yours?
No, I'm not quite sure how I let myself get where I got, but it came from, I battled that addiction for so many years. I was spending so much money on pills. I got in a spot I couldn't.
Now, what type of addiction are you referring to?
My addiction is to opiate painkillers,
And when
specifically oxycodone, OxyContin.
And when did you first become dependent or addicted to opioids?
Oxycodone or opiates in general?
Opiates in general.
I'm not quite sure of the exact date, but I can give you a time frame. I hurt my knee really bad playing football in college, and I had a knee surgery. And the medical science at the time was such that the surgery didn't work, bottom line. So it just didn't last. So within a couple of years of that, I started having a lot of knee troubles. And ultimately, I had to have a couple of surgeries, but the last surgery I had was, I think, around 2002 or 4. And I think it was around 4, so I would have started taking hydrocodone a couple of years before that. And I took hydrocodone, got addicted to that very quickly. I continued taking that for a long time. I'd force myself off of it, wean myself off of it. I'd go back to it. I battled that for a long time. And after a while, I was taking so much of that, I moved on to oxycodone. And, you know, I'm guessing that was around 2000, that transition was around 2008, 9, something like that. And of course, you know, it just escalates, escalates, escalates. And it's,
Did you receive treatment or go to detox on occasion?
I did.
How many times?
That I went to detox or that I detoxed?
Well, let's start with going to a detox facility.
I've been to a detox facility 3 times.
And when was the first time?
December of 2017.
Okay. And before December 2017, had you tried to detox at home?
I tried to detox everywhere I could. Maggie would help me. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you went in to a, was it inpatient facility?
The detoxes, the formal detoxes that I went to?
In December 2017.
Yes, it was it was inpatient. And all 3 formal detoxes that I've done have been at the same facility called Sunrise Detox in Atlanta, Georgia.
And
Very good facility.
Jury's heard an audio tape of a telephone conference with SLED agents. Was that where you were during that meeting with Mr. Harpootlian and I?
That's correct.
The first time you went to the detox in Atlanta, how long of a stay is that? Did you stay?
7 days is the opiate detox program.
And is there a difference between detox and rehab?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Detox is it's the act of getting the drugs out of your system, getting to the point where, okay, there is no longer a physical dependency, all right? And that's a big difference than the rest of the dependency, but the physical dependency is supposed to be gone after 7 days. So, in other words, there's so many things. Opiate withdrawal is, it's hard. But supposedly at the end of 7 days, you don't have those physical symptoms like, I don't want to be too graphic, but you're sick, you throw up, you have terrible diarrhea, you sweat like you're running a marathon, you can't hold your legs still, you can't lay down. Now, like what I'm talking about, the legs moving, that goes away after about 24 hours. So, after about 24 hours, you can lay down again and maybe sleep some, but you sweat, you throw up. You just have, there's so many issues, but after 7 days, those are supposed to be over. That's what detox is, the detoxification of your body.
And what's rehab?
Rehab is the period that you go to learn how to stay off. You're supposedly off after detox. Rehab is where you get help staying off.
And before September 2021, had you ever gone to that second stage of rehab?
No.
So in December 2017, how long did it take you to relapse once you got home from detox?
Not long at all. You're still going through, though this physical dependency is gone, you still have, you're still so sick. Is
that something you've been battling for quite some time?
As long as I can remember.
How long have you been drug-free, opioid-free?
535 days. And I'm very proud of that.
I want to ask you questions about Labor Day weekend 2021.
Okay.
You remember being confronted by your law firm?
Sure I do.
And what were you confronted about?
Stealing money.
And did you admit your misconduct to your law partners?
Well, to one of my law partners and my brother and my law partners, Danny and Randy. Yeah, I mean,
Did
admit it, man.
and they learned about a fake forge account? Did you admit to the fake forge account?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell them about your opioid struggles, opioid addiction?
I told him about my addiction. Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, were any of your law partners aware of your addiction?
Not just to my knowledge. I'm certain that they were not aware of my addiction.
How would you characterize your opioid use or addiction? Severe, moderate?
Then or now?
No, in 2020, 2021?
I mean, I don't know how I would have characterized it then. After going to rehab and learning some more of the things I've learned, really talking to addicts about experiences. I mean, I will tell you that my addiction was extremely bad.
How were you able to function? Or were you able to function?
Yes, I was able to function.
You were able to practice law?
Yes.
And were you successful practicing law while you were addicted to opioids?
On some level, yes, sir, I was successful. I mean,
That's the latest that we have for you. Keep it here for more as the case continues to unfold in court. Press subscribe wherever you download podcasts and follow us so you don't miss any moments of it. My name is Tony Bruschi. Stay with us.